following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
Disruption Network and First Source Federal Credit Union have teamed up to help support the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center, Sunday, April 28th from noon till 4 p.m. Located at the Veterans Outreach Center, 726 Washington Street in Utica. There will be food, live entertainment, raffles, live podcasting from the D, and an appearance by Audie from the Utica Comets. We are looking for donations of clothes, non-perishable food items, furniture, toiletries, hygiene products, or a minimal cash donation of $5 at the door day of event. All ages are welcome. For more information on donation, drop-off locations, and entertainment lineup, please check out DisruptionNetwork.net. Disrupting Hunger, Sunday, April 28th, brought to you by First Source Federal Credit Union.
Tax season is here, and First Source wants to help you be prepared. Our friends at Furley, Moran, Freer, and ESA have given us some great tax tips to share. Read the blog at fsource.org for helpful answers to your tax questions and feel better prepared before you file. First Source members can also receive a discount on TurboTax software. Be ready for tax season with help from your friends. File smarter, live smarter with First Source. Membership requirements apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Baseline is back with all new episodes every Sunday night at 8 p.m. right here on Disruption Network. The complete rundown of news and notes around Major League Baseball. Get caught up with fantasy rankings, predictions, league leaders, standings, and more. Join JP and SPG as they bring you original segments like 3 Up, 3 Down, the Haps on the Haps, Tip of the Cap, and the Field Report.
Don't find yourself out of the Baseline.
Join the Baseline every Sunday night, all season long, only on the D.
Hey, it's Cassidy, and you're listening to Disruption Network.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish, and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
The Disruption Network is making moves. For upcoming events, news, interviews, and new daily programming, keep in the loop with us at DisruptionNetwork.net. Like, follow, and subscribe to all our social media. And check out all our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Get up on the D, DisruptionNetwork.net.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
EC Radio, Disruption Networks. EC Radio, Disruption Networks.
It's the Hump Day Hoedown edition of EC Radio. How are you, people? We're about to have a rootin' tootin' good time here on Disruption Network. Yeah! Is that the Clayville chant right there?
Yeah, it is. It's the Clayville Chippewa.
I'll tell you, man. I will tell you, I have a ton of friends and a ton of listeners from the Sequoia Clayville area.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to be tuning in just a little bit. But you got to give them their...
shout out to the hometown. Yee!
Is that the new... before it used to be woo-woo, back in the day.
Yeah.
But, anyways,
it is Valley Indian right there.
Right?
Yeah.
It's me, Z. How are you? Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. Time to disrupt your afternoon with some Utica coffee. Wake the hell up, Utica. WakeTheHellUp.com. We're drinking pistachio coffee today. I've been drinking it all week. What do you think about it?
So, this is the first time I've ever had any pistachio coffee ever.
Really?
Dude, so freaking fresh.
Yeah.
That is really on point. It's not overwhelming like you might think. Like I find pistachio ice cream a little like too much pistachio. This is like, you can't even tell, dude. It's like a nice smooth roast. This is really good.
I'm a fan of all things pistachio, and I think this is the perfect blend of pistachio and caffeine.
Excellent.
And man, this is some good stuff. If you want to taste the best coffee in the world, hit up Utica Coffee. You can find them at WakeTheHellUp.com, and also check out their awesome, cool little coffee shop that they have on Genesee Street. There, I'm usually there a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Getting my coffee, getting my fix.
That's where I did my Christmas shopping. I'm like, let me just get 9 pounds. just distribute through the stockings. Man.
Did you have to mail any of it out?
No,
that's a good
luckily.
thing.
They got it fresh, yeah.
Because if you had to mail it out, people would think you're under suspicion for something.
I know, right? What's in the coffee? Open it up.
So thank you to all my friends over at Utica Coffee, and also thanks to my friends at Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Mention the D, $250 off any vehicle purchase at Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Check them out online, NyeVWofRome.com. Also, big love to EJA Moving Services. And also, coming up, we're disrupting hunger with our friends from First Source Federal Credit Union. Disrupting Hunger, Sunday, April 28th, happening at the Veterans Outreach Center. Now, if you guys are interested in donating, we have drop-off boxes located all throughout First Source Federal Credit Union branches, as well as we have a couple of other branches out there, and you can find out where you could drop off your donations by visiting our website at disruptionnetwork.net. We're looking for non-perishable food items, clothes, toiletries, hygiene products, furniture, pretty much any basic home necessity that you're looking for. They'll take furniture. They'll take whatever. They will take whatever. And then we're having a big old party at the Veterans Outreach Center, April 28th. So come on down. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have music and food and raffles, and Audie's going to stop down and take pictures with the kids. So it's going to be a good time. Thank you to our friends at First Source Federal Credit Union for helping us disrupt hunger. So Zach Bonanza in the house with us. Hey. Zach's got a cool little podcast. How long you been doing your podcast for now?
Only like 2 months.
2 months?
It's about 2 years in the making.
I got you.
Yeah.
Lost Guidance Podcast. You could check it out pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts, right? You're on iTunes and Google Play.
Not iTunes, yeah. In the process of the iTunes thing, I'm on SoundCloud. You can find me, my Twitch channel. So we go live every Sunday. I usually have a guest on discussing. So the whole underlying theme of the podcast is... nobody gave us a map. We're all just here wandering through life, hoping we're doing the right shit, man. And I think sometimes just hearing stories like something like this, hearing the input of either local people, famous people, doesn't really matter. Sometimes just hearing the story of somebody else's, triumphs or whatever, that's enough to help you in life. Like you get, people listen to inspirational shit because they get something out of it. And so that's what I found is like just sitting down, having conversations with people, I get something out of it. I find that it's very... absorbing for me. Like I get really interested in what they're saying, all the different details. All my guests each have a different, really awesome aspect about them that has guided them through life. And there's something to be, received and taken out of people's stories. So that's what it is. So every Sunday we go live, 2:00 on Twitch. You can find us also on Facebook, Instagram. I say us, but I just mean me, obviously.
Right. Well, you got to make it sound like you got an organization.
It's like
I always say us too, but it's just me.
Right. It's like a baby you're carrying with you. You're like, we're here. It's us. YouTube and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's something really awesome about just telling stories, sharing ideas. And each week I've had on somebody with a different underlying something in their life. So last week I had on Laura Ratcliffe, who is the owner and operator of Oh Baby Sandwich Shop. If you guys haven't seen the episode and this is the first time you're hearing of Lost Guidance, check it out. That woman has overcome, adversity, challenges in the local food industry.
She works her ass off.
She is a hard fucking worker, dude.
She is.
And I admire the hell out of her work ethic. But not only that, her bubbly and just like great personality.
Yeah.
It was an excellent episode. Each episode's somewhere in the vicinity of like an hour or more. So she was just talking about all the things that go into, creating a business, especially when she is such a passionate artist. And so she's like really into like I see her on Facebook and stuff doing like watercolors and acrylics. And so I asked her like, how much does like something as simple as your artwork love feed into it? She goes, that's where I get my designs for my shop and why I look so funky in there. And that's where I get my menu designs. And I'm like, that's so amazing. You never would have thought somebody who just has a hobby for it and is a business owner is incorporating those two things. So someone else who might be starting a business who likes art, maybe they take that from Laura and they incorporate it into their own business or something, you know?
She's definitely got some pizzazz.
Yeah. She adds that little spice to the area.
Yeah.
And like she was saying, you know, I think we're all kind of sick of that 1970s Italian restaurant kind of feel with the fake garland and the plants and
the checkerboard tablecloth.
Yeah, and dark tan walls. Yeah, exactly. I think we're all kind of over it.
It's like a Billy Joel song.
Yeah, seriously. Brenda and Natty, they were still going steady in the summer, you know? But that's just it. So it kind of opened my eyes to like what it's like to be a local business owner around here and really have to step up your game. So that's just one of many of the examples that I've had of my guests, stories that have kind of inspired me, open up my eyes. So
a lot of the inspiration coming out of the world today is being driven by podcasts these days. It's like the biggest trend going on in the world. Like how many millions of people are listening to podcasts each year, and those numbers are increasing by the day.
I was going to ask you, when do you remember first watching podcasts or listening to them?
My first one was probably Rogan.
Rogan, right? Like a couple years ago, and he's obviously like the elite, you know, top 2 podcasts in the world.
I got to think about this.
Right? Like a long time, like a couple years back, you'd start hearing about, and I remember scrolling on my old iPod and being like, oh, a podcast? What the fuck's that, you know? But nothing really came out of it. And then all of a sudden, like I'd say maybe 3-4 years ago, until now, everybody I know watches podcasts now.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, you can be hanging out at a bar and like, yo, did you see that Joe Rogan, especially Joe Rogan? Or did you see, you know, hey, have you listened to this like murder series podcast or things like that? And I'm like, how did everyone just click on the podcast so quick? And like you said, it's just blown up, millions of different topics.
And it's getting bigger.
Yeah, it is.
It's getting there. There's millions of podcasts to choose from nowadays. But you know, there's niche podcasts, or there's everyday podcasts, sports podcasts, music podcasts, whatever. Anything that you fancy, you can get a podcast on it. And I encourage people to do podcasts. Everybody has a great story.
Absolutely.
And everybody should document their story. You know, whether you went through adversity or your education or whatever got to whatever the journey that you took to get to the point where you are today.
Yeah,
and I think it's very important to get that out there. And, you know, plus it's kind of a good psychological thing too, because you get things off your chest as well.
Yeah.
You know, I've had guys on here like literally break down and cry sometimes. I'm like, I can't believe I just said that to you, Z.
Really?
And yeah, it's happened a couple times.
Dude, I tell you,
it's amazing. I love
They get
that.
you into it.
Yeah.
You know? Like when you start hearing, you know, same with me, dude. And that's, you nailed it right on the head, Z. I couldn't agree with you more. It's like, and this is kind of what I'm bringing, and you as well, and Bowie, who was here the other day. That's what people like us bring to the table. In a market that's getting so saturated with content, yeah, there's a lot of nicheness, there's a lot of general podcasts, but like something like this, like a local Utica-style podcast where people have a platform to really share their stories. Like, yeah, okay, celebrities are cool and everything, but like I want to know, like, how Laura came from, overcoming a brain tumor to running one of the most successful sandwich shops in town. That's a story that I want to hear.
Exactly.
And like, you know, it is good to get things off your chest. Sometimes people just kind of dwell in their own mindset, and that can cause a lot of internal toxicity, things like that. Whether you're the host or a guest, just speaking freely, scheduling that 1 or 2 hours a day or a week to just sit down and look someone in the eye the way we are and just talk with them and like, hey, dude, let's share this moment, this conversation. Let's share this story. Let's fucking connect over this. That's what's so inspiring and powerful to me, you know?
Yeah, and that's some of the things we'd like to get across too here, is to inspire and educate too.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing that we just want to get it out there. And like we do the Albagain thing about the Iboga plant.
I watch, yeah.
And stuff like that. We want people to know what they're missing out on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the mainstream media doesn't give you the facts anymore. It's just their agenda, and that's it.
Absolutely.
Whether you're right wing or left wing, they give you their side of the agenda, but there's never anybody really down the middle. You know, and not that we try to get into politics, because it's the one thing I do not try to do on this show is get into politics.
Right, yeah.
Because you do pigeonhole yourself, and then you'll lose listeners.
Yeah.
For doing, and believe it or not, we're in that day and age where, you know, you can't discuss politics or it's going to break up a friendship or like families battle over
or
it and
slander
stuff like that.
you all over the internet.
Or slander you all over the internet,
Yeah.
which is could be a double-edged sword
Yeah.
sometimes, that internet. I'll tell you.
I
As
know.
we're live on the internet
I
right
know.
now. Like, oh, that Z thinks he knows what the hell he's talking about. But yeah, that's but getting the podcast out there and telling your story and getting it documented and be inspiring and try to do good in your community.
Yes.
You know, and that's one of the things we definitely preach around here.
And you guys are, you are the star example of the area, I got to say. And kudos to you and everybody who works part of the team. I know, been on the D line before with Caleb and Chicken and Sil. And
I'm sorry you had to be with those guys.
No, man, they're great guys.
Yeah,
I mean, they're a bunch of, chumps sometimes. They're Bear and Jets fans.
I'm sure you walked out a little more dumber than you already were.
No, it's really great because you guys get on a variety of guests. You have a variety of listeners. You're attending a variety of events. You're doing the Disrupt Hunger. You're offering promotions at Nye Volkswagen. You're all over the board, which is so awesome. You're taking what's otherwise just a local podcast where we talk to people and saying, nah, we do this to the next level, baby. It's exponentially greater. And so kudos to you. Like,
thank you.
I saw that, the Ibogaine one. I'm like, who'd have thunk that would be like a Monday's guest or something, And then today you're having another podcast, or you had what was the one last week that you had that was really cool?
Don Shipman.
Yeah, Don Shipman.
From WQTV.
Yeah. Like, it's so awesome that you're getting, like you said, you're offering a little bit to everybody and you're getting a little bit of everybody's story. And I think it diversifies, broadens your listening horizon and everything. So kudos to you guys.
Well, the one thing we wanted to get out of everybody's mind frame and thinking, because people hear podcasts, they think, you're doing it like out of their garage or something like that. I wanted to take it to another level. My background's radio. I grew up doing radio in the 90s and worked at K-Rock and WOUR back in the day. Yeah, I started at the old Rock 107.
Really?
It's probably way before your time.
Cool, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were on radio.
Yeah, and that's where I got my start. And then after that, went in and opened up the bar and just totally dissed radio and started playing music. And then now I'm back into it because it's always been a passion of mine.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do something and now that podcasts are so popular, I can voice my opinion if I wanted to, and I can get it out there. Whether people want to hear it or not, I don't care. I'm still going to broadcast it.
Yeah.
Whether people want to listen or not, I don't care. Because this is a passion of mine. This is something that's in my soul that I need to do. It's like a demon inside that I need to relinquish every day.
That's perfect way. That's exactly how I feel, man. Like, I guess it's cool too because maybe 5-10 years ago it would have been 1 million listeners, and if you're not appealing to some of them, you probably won't be heard. Now there's 14, 15, 20 million listeners. So if I don't get some of the people listening to me, somebody out there has to want to hear what I have to say. Because,
yeah.
But I found it so. Is that our man Bowie? What's going on, buddy? It's very. It's very much a passion of mine as well, and that's kind of what got me started. In addition to my friend Bowie pushing me over the edge and saying, just pull the trigger and do it, I always felt, and I said this on my show before, I was blessed with 2 gifts. The gift of gab, I can talk for hours, man. Just go, and I can talk to pretty much everybody, And I think that's because of my second gift. I feel like I'm an empathetic person. I feel like I'm able to relate, understand, process, and adjust my conversation based on the person I'm talking to. Like I wouldn't talk to you the same way I'm talking to, like a pastor or something, or my great aunt Susan. You adjust. Some people don't. My brother's a very blunt person. He's going to tell you how he feels. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be the president. You could be a homeless guy. It doesn't matter. So I'm very much like a person who recognizes the situation and will just talk and kind of run down the rabbit hole with it. And I see that in you as well. A lot of podcasters do that. They have the ability to really harness like storytelling, and just conversing is not a gift that everybody has. Right. And so it's kind of awesome that we're blessed with something like that,
Yeah, sometimes I get a guest on here, they totally freeze.
Yeah.
And it'd be people who have a bubbly personality or somebody I've hung out with before in the past. But when they get in front of that microphone and around the cameras, they just freeze up.
They don't want to say the wrong thing.
They don't want to say the wrong thing, or maybe incriminate themselves. Or sometimes I got a lot of dirt on people too. Those people got dirt on me as well. I mean, but I'm not afraid. No. But yeah, some people can't handle that.
Yeah.
But then you get people such as yourself, and they could come in and hang out and hold a conversation and talk about absolutely nothing. Because we're going to talk about absolutely nothing today.
I know, and that's what's awesome, man.
We're not going to talk about anything.
But at the same time, people get something out of that. Like, people are like, man, I'm going to go start a podcast. These guys are freaking doing it.
And you know what, Zach? I'm glad you said that, because I'm hoping, after this podcast is done with you and I, that maybe somebody will go out and start their own podcast.
Seriously.
Or hit us up here at the D. We do have studio rentals if you want to come and rent out the studio, and maybe you're an inspiring podcaster. You could come in here, rent out the studio, and we have a beautiful facility. That
I think people can see it's like legit. This is as legit as it can be. So.
But yeah, I hope that after we're done with this, people were like, hey, let's start up a podcast or something.
Me too, man. And I have a buddy. My first guest was my friend Matt Lewis, and he was actually my 10th guest. Luckily, because Caleb was supposed to come on, and he kind of had some work shit come up. Which is fine. I'm gonna have him come on. He was a little probably
cut the chase. He was hungover,
drinking them Svedka in the plastic cups that he does.
But it's good that you can have a friend that you can always fall back on, just in case you do have a guest that cancels, because it happens.
Yeah, exactly. He's my, like, if you and I were tight enough that I could just text you on a Sunday, be like, yo, I need a last minute guest. That's who this kid is to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a great story. He has been riding dirt bikes his whole life, doing motocross races and stuff, and he's undergone like 4 major injuries. He's got swollen discs in his back. He snapped his femur in 2 places last year. I mean, he's gone through the gauntlet, and after we did that episode 1, me and him were just like so giddy. Like we get done and we're like, yeah, man, like all that, testosterone pumped through us. Like, yeah, we did a podcast. And like a couple weeks later, he goes, dude, don't be upset, man, but I've been thinking about starting a podcast. I go, upset? I'm so freaking happy to hear that you want to do a podcast.
Right.
Because he's like, I'm so passionate about motocross. I'm in the motocross community. There is no motocross Utica area podcast, but there is so much motocross in the area. Unadilla, all these local races and stuff. I'm like, dude, do it. I'll tell you everything I know. And that's the community I want to breed. And that's why I love seeing like us intermingling like this, having this crossover is amazing.
Exactly. And we need to cross promote too. That's the other thing, especially in the area. We're all in this community together. And that's a good idea. You cross or a motocross podcast.
I'd listen to it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure there's people out there, and there's a great motocross community in this area.
Yeah.
There is, and has been for many, many, many years.
I think it's actually getting bigger almost. Like I see more and more kids getting into it. I don't know why, but it's cool.
Was it Gary V that says, take whatever you love and pound it to death?
Yeah.
Was that Gary V?
Gary V.
I couldn't remember if it was Gary V or Joe Rogan or one of those influencers.
Yeah.
But that's what they were preaching. Like, you take whatever you love, and if you're very knowledgeable on, say, a motocross or something, take that and run with it. Take that ball and run and deliver content. And, you might inspire, you might get somebody involved in the motocross, or you might get somebody back into motocross again.
Yeah.
We're using motocross as an example.
Right, but it could be anything.
It could be anything. Right.
Yeah,
we talked about it earlier, too. There's a lot of niche podcasts out there.
Yeah.
Right now,
And so that's one thing, like when I was starting my show, I knew I wanted it to, like I said, this is like 2 years in the making. Like 2 years ago, I was hanging out with this kid who I don't really speak with anymore, but he was like, dude, you're a great talker. You just know you have the gift of gab, and then I was telling him how I love Joe Rogan, and I was really getting into podcasts. He's like, we should just fuck around and do something like that. And so I went out and bought like a single Shure mic. I bought my interface, and I just had my crappy old Dell laptop, which doesn't even function anymore. And I'm like, yeah, let's try it, And I didn't know what I wanted it to be. It didn't have a title. I just wanted to sit down and talk with people, And in my mind, I'm like, man, everybody does that. I'm not going to be Joe Rogan. But then I was like, why can't I just be happy with what I do? Why can't I just sit down and talk with people, right? Does it need to be niche? Is that its own niche? So a little bit of time and working with it. When I started, I was like, man, everything I did, I was like, this is shitty sound quality. Like we were talking before the show, once you start getting into recording and then stopping and editing it, you nitpick the hell out of yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. That's why I like doing it live, so I don't edit. So I don't have to. You do minimal editing whatsoever, and because I'd get in my head too much. Yeah. That's the problem.
I'm the same way. I'd be like, oh, that's a little buzz. Oh, what's that clicking noise?
Yeah.
What's it? Let me edit
I said, there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have dropped the F-bomb there.
Exactly.
And I get too much into my head.
And I do that all the time. I'm like, I say the too much or like or fuck, and I say it once in a while, but hope you don't mind me saying that in this one. I've already said it 5 times.
You've been counting? No, actually, I prefer it. I think
it loosens up bones.
Absolutely, man.
So I was like, let me just, I don't know, let me just take a step back from it. A lot of things happen, and then I end up meeting Bowie, Adipicola Abiola, our main man here.
Wow, you could say his whole name?
Adipicola Abiola. Dude, I love the kid's name. I would never forget it. Oh, there he is.
I love the kid.
Adipicola Abiola, my man. So... yeah, and what's the middle name? Adipicola Bolafola Abiola. Boom!
Wow, that's a lot of syllables.
Yeah,
that's a lot of syllables.
I know it is.
He's a gem, though, man. And actually, indirectly, you're the reason why we caught up with Bowie. You brought Bowie to our anniversary party.
At the Dev, yes.
At the Dev. And it's been a match made in heaven ever since.
Yeah, no.
He just gave me a great lesson on IGTV. Like, he's been teaching me so much.
Give me that lesson, man.
He's been teaching me so much, and it's almost too much to process everything, so I'm going to have him. And I was like, Bowie, we should write this down. He goes, no, you don't have to write this down. We're watching a video. You can always go back to the video.
Yeah.
No need to write it down. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm old school. I want to take notes
Dude,
and
he
shit,
opens
you know?
your mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit and have like a 1 hour college class session with this kid just about what he knows, and it's amazing. And so he's actually the one that got me into it. He had been working at the place that I'd worked, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I always want to do a podcast. It's cool that you do one. He goes, dude, do it. He's like, you know what? Don't even think about it. Just do it. He goes, you know what? We're gonna get together. We're gonna collaborate. I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna help you set it up. We're gonna do it. Sure as shit. Sunday came around. My man Bowie comes over. We set up the whole thing. We get the page rolling. And at this time, I pieced together my name, Lost Guidance, and I was like, I think it's a cool name. It's kind of a conundrum. It's like, how can you be lost and give guidance? Well, that's everybody, dude. I don't know what's gonna happen when I leave here today. I can get into an accident. I could win $1 million, but I'm just out here living it. And if I have a piece of advice for you, I'll give it. Like, this is what I know. I think. There's no proof. It's not in the records. It's not in a textbook anywhere what to do in life. So I was like, Lost Guidance. It's kind of a cool name, a good conundrum, So, we start piecing it together. There goes the Lost Guidance Facebook page, then the YouTube channel. It all starts coming to be, man. And before I know it, I was just like you said, this passion started igniting in me. Like, the thing that made me want to do it before was this flame now erupting, dude. And I'm like, it's on. I have guests lined up all the way till June. I have like great new content, different spin-off type stories and shows I want to do.
Beautiful.
It's so awesome, dude. It really is. This podcast thing is amazing.
The other thing I love about podcasts too is there's really no time restraints.
That's true.
Like sometimes, and I've done the media circuit many times, and you go to, say, KTV or IBX or one of those radio television stations, and they give you like 5 minutes. Or you go, and Keeler's a mentor of mine, and I love Bill Keeler to death. When you go on a show, he gives you like 15 minutes. Which he's the one that you get the most amount of time out of because it's more of talk show format.
Right.
Where the other ones, you're in and out. You're very in and out. But I'm sorry, I'm getting messages over. People stop texting me right now. I forgot my train of thought. So what you have no you have no time restraints when you come onto a podcast. You can tell your story. You've got no restraints. You sit there, tell your story, long conversation, and that's the beauty of it. And that's another thing that I tell like sponsors and stuff like too. Like, it's a long format, so we could talk all day about what you're providing or what you're offering or any of that. And then the other thing is your podcast, my podcast, Bowie's podcast, all those podcasts, they're going to outlive all of us.
Yeah.
You think about it. That's
totally.
They're going to be here for forever and ever and ever until there's no
the internet exists.
As long as there is an internet, those podcasts are going to exist, and they'll probably outlive all of us.
That's true. And I was even thinking about this in a couple different senses. Like, one, I just started this weight loss challenge, and mostly because I'm a fat ass, but also because there's a little bit of like a monetary and a little bit of a shit talk value to it.
Trying to cash in a little bit.
So I'm like, I can't wait to see 10 episodes from now when I'm slimmed down and I can compare it to Fatty in episode 1, But also like just looking back a year from now and see where my mindset was at and how I've progressed as a person. I think that's really cool. And my guests will also be able to do those things. Like, do I still feel the same way? So yeah, it's really cool that it's a media platform that's going to stand the test of time and it could reach anywhere. Somebody in Indonesia could be watching it in a year.
Right.
You never know. So
I got thousands of downloads in Japan. I have no idea how.
Really?
I have no idea how.
That's awesome.
In fact, I just had a meeting yesterday, and the guy was like, so you could track everything that comes in? I'm like, yeah, here, look. And I showed him. I'm like, look, I got like 1,200 downloads in Japan. He goes, wow. And the thing about Japan is, and I did a little research, and what it is they're infatuated with American culture. And right now, American culture is podcasting and stuff like that.
That's
so they're
true.
trying to see what's going on in American culture. I don't know nobody in Japan. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And there's 1,000 downloads in Japan. Well, thank you, moshi moshi. How do you say thank you in Japan?
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. And like you said, it's international. It could go anywhere.
Arigato.
Of course, he knows how to speak Japanese.
It makes
of course.
Arigato. Yeah.
Arigato. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Arigato.
How many languages do you speak, Bowie?
Yoruba is my parents are from Nigeria.
Come on, go on. You can sit over here.
Yeah, come on.
Come on over.
Might as well, dude. Join in.
Yes, he's excited. Bowie, he's been on before a couple times.
Yeah.
Make sure you
So much, everybody.
This ball of energy. Come on, dude. Put that mic up to you.
We're all three of us are balls of energy.
This is the Utica community.
yeah, all
podcast
three of
right
us
here,
are
right now.
balls of energy right now. So
wait, how many languages do you speak?
okay, so I English. Do you count English?
Yeah,
Okay,
of
so
course.
so I speak Yoruba. Yoruba language is my parents' language from Nigeria. So Yoruba.
You speak that fluently?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
And now wait, with Yoruba, is it a dialogue, like a dialect in different parts of Nigeria?
No, it's
or
specific
it's
to a tribe.
it's one language throughout the whole region.
It's specific to tribe. So my parents are from the Yoruba tribe.
Okay.
And we speak Yoruba in Nigeria, and there are many tribes in Africa. There are thousands upon
Get
millions.
close to the microphone.
So
it moves up. You can.
Oh,
move
my
it.
bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got
So there are thousands of tribes in Nigeria. So there are in Nigeria, but there are millions of tribes in Africa. So my parents are from the Yoruba tribe. That's where my family's from. But the other two major tribes in Nigeria are the Hausa tribe and the Igbo tribe.
Okay.
And then there are millions of smaller tribes too. But those are the three major ones. So those are the majority. And so the Yoruba tribe speaks Yoruba. The Hausa tribe speaks Hausa, and then the Igbo tribe speaks Igbo.
Is there a communication
Oh yes,
barrier
there's
between the two?
There are language barriers. So during the have you guys heard of the Age of Imperialism?
Yes.
So during the Age of Imperialism, Nigeria was colonized by the English, the British people. So the unifying language between the three tribes are English.
Really?
So the way the intertribal communication happens is through English.
Wow,
British
nice.
English. Yeah.
So what else do you speak?
So I speak English, Yoruba. I also took Latin in high school and Latin, yes.
Hey, you know that's a dead language.
It is, but the thing is, but think about how many
like the
Romance.
base. Yeah, the base of all languages.
So the Romance languages are.
French, Spanish, Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian, English,
and
also Portuguese,
Portuguese,
Romanian Romance, definitely that.
Greek?
Greek? No,
Greek.
No. That's separate.
Okay.
Greek is when Greek is separate from Romance. Although we have certain words that come from Greco-Roman words.
Right.
It's amazing. Language is huge. I speak a little bit of Japanese because Nintendo is from Japan. Super Smash Bros.
So you gotta communicate with the creators.
Yeah. So like if the creator of Super Smash Brothers comes on this podcast, I know a little bit of Japanese, so I can somewhat like piece together what they're saying. And one of my good friends in college. We're best friends. He's half Japanese, and he's half Japanese, half Chinese. No, half Japanese, a quarter Mongolian, a quarter Chinese. But he's from Japan, and he tells me a lot of cool stuff. And then he's like, "If you ever need to go to Japan, just hit me up. We'll go together." So it's like,
wow.
So yeah, that's how I know Japanese.
That's
So
awesome.
it's awesome. Like this is exciting, man. This shit is so exciting. so that's how I know. Those are the languages I speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dave is saying Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, and Romanian are the Romantic languages.
We said all of that.
We did.
Dave Bandich, the D of the year.
Oh, yeah.
My man.
Yeah, he's the most valuable
When we were
D.
at the Dev, he's just talking to me, and I'm like busting this guy's chops. I turn around, I'm like, "Oh, you're a Browns fan?" He's wearing the Browns, He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, dude, Steelers for life." And we just got chatting, just having a good time. And you guys just call like Dave Bandich, and he goes, "All right, see you guys." And I'm like, "Oh, that's you?" Yeah. I'm like, "Holy shit, dude! Congrats."
Dave Bandich.
Yeah, he's our most valuable D. He's like our resident fact checker.
Yo, we got to have a podcast with them tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, I lack in help, so I can't go out looking for stuff when we're doing the show. It takes away. I mean, I get distracted easy.
Oh, so he comes in and gives you the...
So he stays online and does it,
Dude, Dave.
And he does it with the baseball show and the football show. And
Dave,
even
tune into Lost Guidance Podcast at 2 o'clock on Sundays. Help me out, man.
There you go. Now, when you do Lost Guidance, are you just on Twitch and YouTube? Do you mingle with Facebook at all or Twitter?
I don't do Facebook Live. I just
Periscope?
It's a little bit of a weird area. See, I've been doing live streams on Twitch, and then I upload to YouTube, and then I just share content via my Facebook and Instagram. I do like a lot of 1 minute highlight reels of the show for Instagram and stuff. And then I post all episodes on SoundCloud, so it's an MP3 platform if you just want to listen, shut your phone off and walk away because it's hard to do that on YouTube. But I've been doing the live stream on Twitch because it's just like another media platform.
Right.
Anybody who's on Twitch that might want to come over, or people who haven't, mingled with Twitch much can kind of get used to the media platform, and then I'm like, here's something else. It's not just strictly video gaming, as we're seeing people like K-Rock and Dan Bilzerian even has their own Twitch channels.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, get into
Twitch is blowing up.
Yeah, it is. So I know Bowie was just kind of sharing with you how to kind of interdigitate your IGTV into your YouTube and Twitch, and so I think that's kind of my next step.
I'll share that with you later.
Is getting Facebook Live incorporated, doing host parties. I know you guys are very affluent with those.
I do that all the time.
So maybe we're gonna have a little powwow after this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll share with you IGTV after this.
Yeah,
there's
excellent.
so much you can do with it.
He showed me so much things, and like within an hour, I had all this. It was mental overload for a second. Too much information to process at once.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a lot. But
the beauty of videos, though, you could go back and watch.
Yeah,
them,
we
right?
can always go back and watch them, and we live in the digital age, and there's so much you can capture right now. It's golden era for social media. You can capture it right now. It's amazing.
Yeah. Right now, though, because we've had this conversation before too, Bo.
Exactly.
Is someday down the road, social media might be extinct.
Yeah, where does it go next?
And I was just watching Gary Vaynerchuk video this morning, and he said that give it in 2022, 2023, in 5 to 6 years, even it's gonna start AI is gonna start picking up very fast.
So how is AI going to take over social media?
All right, so let's say for example, let's say I need to have my pool serviced, for example. I would go to an app, for example, and I would just schedule it on my app, right?
Okay.
Right now, this is 2019. In 2023, 2024, I can just say, Alexa, I want my pool serviced, and it just does it right away.
So it's all voice recognition
voice recognition, or it can be social cues, like let's say I snap my fingers, right? If I snap my finger,
it'd be like the Fonz.
It's gonna immediately do it because I programmed it that way, and the machine learns. It's AI. It's let's say I have an AI system set up in my entire house, right? And certain cues trigger certain things. So let's say I walk into my house and then I just say, Alexa, YouTube, or I can just snap my fingers if I program it that way, or if I have someone set it up that I just snap my fingers and it boots up YouTube immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's so Gary Vaynerchuk said that. In 2022, 2023, 5 to 6 years, it's already starting to happen. We're gonna see a boom in that. So,
right.
Which is why we need to capture social media now, because it's the golden era.
Carry people over.
Yeah,
with you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: I'm a promoter in the year of 2025.
Yeah.
I've got a big show going on at the Stanley Theater.
Yes.
I want to promote it.
Yes.
But I don't have Facebook. How am I going to promote that show?
All right, so you're gonna say Alexa or Siri or whatever voice recognition system you have. Let's say you set it up in your house. I got tongue tied. Let's say you set it up in your house, and then you have the internet bandwidth as well. All you have to do is say, I want to promote this show to Times Square on those big, huge screens. Right? You just say it and it's done.
Right. But of course, there would be monetary thing.
Yeah, of course, it's
right.
bandwidth, internet bandwidth, monetary stuff. It's gonna be on that scale.
So you think it's almost like we're kind of in the process of acquiring our own AI machinery, we're slowly getting Roombas, Alexas, things that listen in on you and can cater to you a little bit.
And it's not just voice, but continue. It's not just voice, but continue.
Right. So like you said, social, snapping or whatever.
And facial recognition
and
too.
Timing even, you could set up, I forgot what company it was. I think it was Amazon, right? And they have these little buttons, and you just put a button on your fridge, and every time you need Bounty dish towels or whatever, you just push the button on your fridge and it sends them right to your house. It orders and sends them to you. It's like Amazon has all these various different buttons for products that you can just push the product button.
And then they're going to be having their drones out pretty soon too.
Drones delivering, So I could see that I think maybe social media is just going to get easier. That's why we won't call it social media. You're not actively going online, scrolling through things. It's just you'll be sitting, like he said, on your TV, and you'll just be like, Alexa, show me what Lost Guidance Podcast is doing, and then here's all Lost Guidance Podcast's content.
Okay,
so that's how that's how I would imagine it's kind of going to go. It's kind of crazy.
And even how we have facial recognition, to go on a step further, you don't even have to say it. You can just do. Let's say you have an AI system. If I smile a certain way, it's going to boot something up like that. Or if I blink 3 times, it's going to boot something like that.
Wow.
So, because we have facial recognition with the iPhone 10, Google Pixel, all these phones. So or let's say I roll my eyes a certain way, right? it's gonna boot a certain thing. So like it's not just audio, it's also facial recognition as well. It's gonna be huge.
Man, that stuff freaks me out.
Me too.
Bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a big brother in the sky, and we're being watched every second of the day, especially now that we all have phones.
I just wonder, it's almost to me like how much data are they really acquiring? Because you saw that the San Francisco Bay killer, he's been at large for like 23 years, just got caught because his cousin did 23andMe.
Wait, what?
Wait, what happened?
Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, so this guy has been at large in like the San Francisco Bay Area, killing people for like 23 years. Nobody could find him. They had his DNA from a crime scene, but he's someone who has never been arrested, so he's not in the system. It's just DNA. His cousin, who's very similar in composition of DNA, did 23andMe, sent his DNA. The FBI traced it, realized it's similar enough, it had to be a cousin to this person, and then basically by process of elimination found out who the killer was.
Wow.
After 23 years.
Wow.
Isn't that freaking crazy? Look at you. Like, I got chills telling the story, dude. That's the world we live in. And my buddy Jimmy Wilson, he was on my 3rd episode of my podcast. He made it an astounding point I'd never even thought of. If we have that going on, it's just as equally likely that in 5-10 years, somebody takes all the data and all of your, genomic makeup from like an insurance company, breaks it down and says, all right, well, you're at risk for hypertension in the next year or two. Your insurance premiums are higher. And I was like, I never even thought of that. But the way that he's thinking from like a scientific perspective, I was like, oh my God, that's so possible.
Yeah.
So like all this stuff, like if I blink too many times, my robot's gonna stand up and like make me a hot dog or something. That's like terrifying to me.
Well, a lot of the talk has been like they're going to microchip everybody, and they don't really necessarily have to because we have these.
Yeah, I know. I'm chipped, baby. It's in my pocket.
Yeah, the chip is already in the pocket.
I could imagine the next 25 years, if I have kids or grandkids, they can have could just imagine mind recognition. Like, that's crazy. Mind recognition, my kids and grandkids.
Mental telepathy type stuff.
I know,
right?
Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
I know, when you think like 2,000 years ago, the technology till now, now think 2,000 years in the future. Where are we going to be?
Shit, just in the last 20 years.
Seriously.
How much technology has grown.
Exactly.
That's what also kind of scares me is like, I hope we don't kind of supersede ourselves, like go at too exponential of a rate that the technology goes too fast.
Yeah.
It's too much for us to handle is what I'm worried about.
Oh my God.
Because we're like, all right, phones aren't scary, but now it's like, all right, we're arresting serial killers based on a DNA swab that his cousin did. Like, that's a good thing that happened, but like that could happen in any degree. Like, you know what I mean? And just as likely, like people get that conspiracy idea, like, what if I did 23andMe and then they're like, hey, we have your DNA in Wisconsin for a murder or something. That's a more drab example, but it's totally, all of this stuff is feasible because we live in a time where anything's possible, really.
Are you familiar with the Steve Barnes incident?
No.
Steve Barnes was committed for murder, and he didn't commit it, or he was sentenced for murder. And
is this the guy on Netflix?
No, this is a local guy.
Oh, really?
This happened. So the murder happened back in 1985. Okay, and there was like out by Commercial Drive, you know, where like Walmart is and stuff out over that way. Well, there's woods over in that way back in '85s, and kids used to go around there and hang out and stuff. And there was this murder that happened one night. Well, Steve Barnes was drinking and driving one night, and there was a lineup because they were checking cars the day of the murder, the next day or the night of the murder, and Steve got a little scared because he was drinking and turned around and got out of line and then got caught. So they convicted him of the murder.
Wow. How long?
That was 1985. So he was in jail forever. He was in jail for 20 plus years, maybe 19, 20 years, right?
He's out?
Well, he's out now because of DNA.
Wow.
They did some DNA testing, and they found out that he didn't commit the murder, and the case is still a little bit up in the air. I think that the murderer is dead, and that's why they can't really close the case, is because the person who did originally killed the woman is dead. But he was convicted on murder charges.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they released.
Crazy. I mean, it's kind of
they
good
released him, and now I mean he's a member of society, but he gone through a lot of stuff, man.
Oh my God,
he gone through a lot of stuff. And
how do you recover from that? Being innocent,
you know. And they threw a bunch of money at him and everything, and still though, exactly. How do you recover from all that?
That's lost time.
I know.
Lost like a third of your life.
But the technologies that are in process now, that it's unbleevable. Like you said, the guy whose cousin's DNA, and they got
and he was probably smooth. He's like, dude, no one's gonna catch me.
It's so precise nowadays. That's the thing.
It really is amazing. Yeah, I mean, to the point where they can tell you, you know, when you're just being conceived as in the womb, what genetic predispositions you're going to have. Like, yeah, there's a really good chance he's going to have 9 toes or something. We can find that out.
Right.
It's crazy.
I mean, we live in a time now where we've all lived during the entire mapping of the human genome. How astonishing is that?
Yeah.
We took every bit of DNA. We know the entire human genome. That's what the Human Genome Project was. And what was it, 2014 we finished?
Yeah, it was 2014.
We know all
2014.
of every bit of the string of DNA. Now, granted, we don't know what each chunk does necessarily, what every allele, where its location is, absolutely to 100% T. But the fact that we've even mapped out our genome, like the fact that we're able to do something like catch a killer using his cousin's DNA, or the fact that we can acquit somebody 25 years after a murder, it really leaves me like jaw dropped to the floor. Like, where are we going to be in 20 years, man? When I'm still around at 40, 43.
Yeah, 46 for me.
63.
Yeah.
Take it easy, pal.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
And the Disruption Network is now nationally recognized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we can promote to Times Square.
Yeah.
Just by thinking it.
Just by thinking it,
really
that would be
is.
crazy. Yeah,
No.
can you imagine the generation of tomorrow is like the next generation? They'll be like,
Just sending thoughts.
yeah, it's just crazy.
Sending my thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. They're gonna live in like the post-internet generation. That's post-internet. I don't know what they'll call it.
AI.
Yeah, AI.
Well, let me ask you guys this, since we're talking about all this technology. How much of this technology do you believe is alien technology? Do you guys believe in aliens?
I do believe in aliens. I believe there's that one great quote. There's two options in this world. Either we are alone in the universe, or we aren't, and both are equally as scary. And I love that line because it's like
true.
Like I'm not so naive as to say this is the only rock that everything happened to work out for. No, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But do I think that something's been? I believe we might have been visited by something that kind of just said, "All right, we're light years ahead of these people. Let's just kind of leave them be." Almost. That's my.
Well,
opinion.
let's take mad advantage of them.
Yeah, or that. I don't know how much. I think there are very high. You get somebody like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. You get those level.
Right.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Those level of intellect of people. They could accomplish anything. So
I look at Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's an alien.
Mark Zuckerberg.
I think he's an alien.
robot.
Look at him.
Lizard Zuckerberg.
Right.
So many memes. Have you seen the memes?
yeah,
Oh,
people think he's like the lizard king.
Yeah.
He's like a
I think he is.
And then,
Tiger Woods too. He's another one. I think Tiger Woods is an alien.
but he made a comeback.
I love Tiger.
He made a
Huge
comeback.
Tiger
Why
fan.
Tiger Woods? Why Tiger Woods though?
The guy's unbelievable. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the one time he had that press conference, and it's right after the time that he went. The wife went nuts on him and started beating his clubs up on the windshield and stuff.
Yeah.
and he had a press conference like maybe a week after, and he just seemed so scripted.
Yeah.
But in his delivery, it just seemed like so computerized and scripted.
Is
in
that
the
when he
way
said he was a
putting
sex
things
addict?
across. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it just seemed so scripted and computerized, and he was just sitting there straight faced and everything. And I'm like, this motherfucker's an alien.
That's true. Dude, oh my God, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay,
Yeah.
so Mark Zuckerberg, the way his mind operates is brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when he talks to you, after just one conversation, he'll know your motivations, what drives you, like how you think, and he can kind of hack into that just from one conversation.
Yeah. And
Because he
that's-
pays attention to all the little details from your body language, your eye movement, and like how you're like he knows how you work, so he can use that to his advantage.
Yeah.
That's what's awesome about like one guy I really admire is Elon Musk. 'Cause he just,
Yeah.
whatever he wants to do, he just does it. He's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna make flamethrowers, and now he does that. I'm like, okay. So when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, that was one I really liked. And that one like blew up because he smoked weed on it.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh my gosh, the guy who's making fucking Teslas smoked weed. Whatever, dude. He can do whatever he wants, right? He's a genius. But like when you can see someone like that when they're talking, he will not respond. He'll just sit there and like his eyes will dart. And he's calculating and realizing, like he's visualizing what he wants to say. You know, he's that precise in it. And like Zuckerberg, like he looks like an alien and he gets all bug-eyed and he doesn't say anything right away because he's just like, now I have the answer. Like, like it's all like it's almost like robotic with those types of people. Those really ingenious level of people.
Yeah.
I admire.
Right, which I think they're not from this earth.
No, they're robotic aliens.
Would you be
Scripted,
surprised if
computerized.
this entire planet was just a major thought experiment? Like,
Oh my
just
God, don't even start melting my brain
Like
with this
this
stuff.
entire thing that we call like life and Earth and all that stuff is just an experiment
for aliens.
Well, you've heard of the
Like, they
simulation.
just say, let me manipulate these people, this group of people here, to see how they interact with that
Yeah.
people.
Let's divide these people from these people. And let's watch them slug it out.
Well, do you guys know the
Exactly.
simulation hypothesis?
Yes.
No, I don't
It's
know.
that,
Let's
all right,
just-
so like we were saying, going back to AI.
Okay.
The idea that in 20, 100 years, or 2,000 years from now, where technology is going to be is likely so advanced we can't even comprehend it.
Oh.
In fact, it's so advanced probably that one computer module could hypothetically run simulations of every instance of every occurrence of any action in the world. That's what someone thinks. There's going to be a grand computer that's so capable of performing like a simulation of the life in the sense that every character, every one of us does something slightly different, or every character does one character amongst the whole grand scheme of things does one thing different.
Whoa.
There's going to be a computer running these simulations. So if that's true, if there's a computer running infinite amount of simulations, isn't it equally as likely that I'm just a part of that simulation?
It is.
And that there's only one real timeline that I'm just not a part of it. So that's like the simulation hypothesis, is that the likelihood of us being a simulation versus the one real timeline of the billions that's going on right now in the future is like slim to none. So we're just a simulation.
But who says that timeline is even real? Because
Right.
what's the definition of real? Like,
Yeah.
that's very arbitrary.
Dude, I feel
It's
like
so-
I just
it's so
took
arbitrary.
hallucinogenic mushrooms or something.
I mean,
'Cause I'm just like down the rabbit hole.
No,
with
but
this
that's
stuff,
good.
you know?
That's good because like, who says there's a true timeline? There
It's-
could be multiple true timelines.
When you're trying to like grasp what the future will be like, it really is limitless.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't even try.
Do you guys watch superhero movies or like
Yeah.
watch superhero
Avengers
Have you
and all that?
have you heard of like or superhero cartoons? Have you heard of Earth 3 and like Earth 1 and Earth 2? Like each
the
Earth-
multiverse.
The multiverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so
like-
not hip to any of that.
It's like-
That's why I got you
superhero
around,
stuff.
Bowie.
Yeah, I got you, because like okay, because have you heard of like if you see the word there was a the Justice League.
Yeah.
You know the Justice League.
Yeah, of
Batman
course.
and all
Like
that?
that-
Yeah, sure.
I do know that.
there was a Justice League cartoon. I forgot the name. It was when they saw the Earth 3 versus like an alternate universe.
Yeah.
It's the Justice. There were two different ones. There was the Justice Lords, where they were like still heroes, but they were more like tyrannical and like tyrants.
Mm-hmm.
So like they pretty much made sure like they were like Big Brother,
Yeah.
like 1994 type of Justice Lords. They were like
Yeah.
dominant over the earth. And then there was another one where it was like where it was role reversal. So like what's the main villain of Superman? What's his name? Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor
yeah,
was
yeah.
the superhero. And like
interesting.
and like all the villains were heroes and all the heroes were villains.
Interesting.
So like there was Ultraman, which is the evil version of Superman. There was Superwoman, which is the evil version of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And they were like, and all these superheroes were,
So so the multiverse is. I don't claim to be a
Yeah.
relative astrophysicist or anything like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so Einstein kind of theorized, if I'm recalling this correctly, which I'm pretty sure I am, is that like a black hole? We don't know what it is. It's just an all-consuming. Kind of an anomaly. It's like the event horizon, they'll call it, right? So some people believe that it bends space and time. We know that black holes exist because gravity itself bends around it, right? So if a black hole exists, even though it's something I can't see or measure right now, I know that the way light is curving as it passes by it, that it is a form of mass almost. So people think it bends space. That's what moving the light is, and
Right.
time. So some people believe that it's almost like folding a piece of paper in half, and if you were to punch through it, you go to another dimension, another universe.
Right, a portal or
Yeah,
something.
so that's kind of what the multiverse idea is, that you just keep jumping through black holes, you'll keep going to different universes.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not an astrophysicist, I could be all bullshitting all that, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's kind of like the understanding that I have of it.
That's I feel like that's how this country is in this black hole right now.
Yeah.
because the stupidity level on this earth right now is through the roof, and I have a
yeah.
feeling that we've gone through some kind of weird portal or some kind of
Yeah, I
black
know,
hole.
where there's 170 genders and nobody will
Yeah.
give a damn about politics here, but if the Notre Dame burns, there's $600 million.
Oh my
shooting
god!
that
Can
way.
you imagine parenting in 2050?
No, I
No.
can't.
It's
I don't even wanna
crazy.
think
I
about
can't
it.
imagine.
Crazy.
I can't imagine parenting in 2019.
No, I mean
Crime syndicate.
I mean, the thing is, the 2020 elections are around the corner, so we're gonna see in about a year.
I know.
How stupid we really are.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna
it is,
see.
it's crazy because like everybody's like, "Oh my god, how amazing! There's a black hole. We now have a picture of it," and everybody accepted that. but there's still people who say the Earth is flat.
Yeah, I know.
How's that work, buddy?
Yeah,
Flat
it's a round.
earthers.
Yeah.
Flat Earth.
What a time to be alive.
Shit. Oh my god, yo. And then okay, but the thing is, if you were to go to a black hole, you would die instantly
Oh, yeah,
because
it'll
the gravity,
yeah.
the gravity is a lot.
Yeah, we don't have
Because-
any way of even shining light through those.
Yeah,
but-
because it absorbs so much light that the gravity, like the space time continuum, is like pushing on
Yeah.
you. So it's gonna like completely. It's gonna break you. The gravity is gonna break you.
yeah,
so
it's
as soon as
crazy.
you have, like,
It's crazy to think about the future.
Yeah,
of-
it's insane.
Yeah, I try not to and just keep going day by day.
Yeah.
You know,
but at the
just
same time, it's
stay
almost,
on my grind.
It's almost equally as crazy that we live in a time where both of those truths exist. Like
True.
people all believe in the black hole and that it is now real, and we have a picture of it. And people also believe that the Earth is flat. Like, what-
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I saw that thing going around Facebook that they want to rename the black hole the Chris Cornell.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
I would be so
Why?
into that.
Because Chris Cornell is
It's
the
a
leader of
song.
Soundgarden. He wrote the song Black Hole Sun.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Like
That would
if
be
they,
fun.
if they named it, I'd be like, yo, the Chris. I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump into the Chris,
We're
bro.
gonna jump into the Cornell
I'm gonna
hole.
jump into the
The
Chris, bro.
cornhole.
Oh shit.
I'm all,
Oh, shit.
I'm all for it. I think that would be great.
That would be so cool. Like if I could jump into the Chris, I just run into it. That would be so fun. That would be so fun, bro. It would be cool. Like, and I would just tell all my friends. I'd be like on Instagram, everything. Be like, yo, I'm jumping into the Chris right now.
Yes,
Check
yeah.
me out. Check me out,
That's
bro.
awesome.
Check me out.
That would
Yeah,
be cool if they did that.
Hey Zach, Willie B is saying he saw that dude in a party at the State Lands once. I'm sure he's talking about you.
Oh,
you used
me?
to party at the State Lands back. in the
Yeah.
day.
Will, do I know you?
Maybe. I'm sure.
You saw me? Oh, probably. I used to party all the time in the State Lands.
Yeah.
I used to be like the, what would you call it?
The State Lands
The
celebrity.
consigliere of like Clayville gravel bed parties and Tassel Hill and all that. So, hey, William, shout out to you, man. Thanks for recognizing me as that dude.
I feel like people don't do that anymore.
No.
You know, like the backwoods.
Oh, they straight up filled in the gravel bed with
Did they?
mounds of dirt, so we couldn't get back there. So that was the end of those days.
And
but-
back in the day, it used to be a thing. You go to the State Lands, or you go
Yep.
out to the woods, and you drag a keg
Yeah.
of beer, and you drag whatever.
and you somehow coordinate 50 people with pickup trucks to all get wood for like 2 hours with the burning.
Bonfire.
Yeah, huge.
Yo,
dude.
do they still do that today?
Not
I mean-
as much, man. But like when I was younger, I mean, it would be of no ill thought to say, "Hey, it's Thursday night. Let's get 50 pallets and 20
Oh my
tires,
God.
burn
I
them."
wanna-
It was
I wanna-
I
crazy.
miss those days.
I wish I could
I
do
me
that
too,
now.
man. Yeah.
Because I'm so new to Utica.
Yeah,
still,
so you're just from like the city area, so this
well-
is more rural than Buffalo.
Oh
for sure.
shoot.
Is it more rural than from where you're from?
Well, the thing is, I grew up in the suburbs, so like,
you did?
I'm
Okay.
from Williamsville, so it's not like.
Oh,
but
you're from Williamsville.
but, Williamsville, which is in Buffalo.
Right.
So, but I'm not too far from the city. Like, it's just like a
Right.
20-minute drive.
So this is a little more rural than what you're used to.
Oh yeah,
more
it is.
country-ish. Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is. Yo, like,
Yeah,
I just want to have fun.
We got to
like
show
this.
him the.
You gotta show me.
we got to get him on a quad in a cornfield.
Oh, we could easily do that. That's no problem.
You got to.
I will. I will.
Oh shoot. Yo, this shit is exciting, bro. This shit is exciting, man. I'm so
Here's
excited.
the thing with Bowie is like he's so kind of green to everything.
Yeah.
And my thing with Bowie is like we're gonna take him out on some of our excursions this summer.
Do it.
And just to get his reaction on things.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Let's
man.
make that
We're taking
an
him.
episode.
We're taking him to Modown with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'll
come with
meet you.
us.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to
This shit is
Modown.
gonna be good, bro. I'm excited, man. This shit is
Mo
gonna
is
be
big.
so good, man.
So you've never really done a festival before, correct? Like an overnight camping thing.
Wait.
You've camped before, right?
I've camped before.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
have
was
you ever
Boy
done a
Scout
music
when I was
festival where
Don,
you're
we all
camping
love
and-
Bowie's
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts when I was younger.
Okay.
So I've camped before. I've camped several times. Music festival I've done. Okay, so like I've done like not an overnight thing, but like maybe like for like from like 7 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
There was like a festival, and then there was like a movie show.
Well, I'm talking Thursday through Sunday, though.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. This will run the gauntlet on you, dude.
Oh shoot, this is gonna be
yeah.
so cool.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
This is gonna be so cool. I'm excited. Yo, this shit is gonna be so
But
good, bro.
my whole thing
Yo, this
is-
shit is good, man.
My whole thing is to get his reaction.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose
Can
my
we make
mind
that-
right now.
You're losing your mind right now.
Yeah,
I'm
I
losing
know.
my mind right now because this is so cool, bro.
Dude,
This
I
shit
once
is so
told
good, yo.
I once told him about steamed dumplings at Peking, Tokyo, and he lost his fucking mind.
Yo, I did lose my mind right now because this shit is so good,
So
man.
that's the thing is to introduce him to a whole bunch of new stuff.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And to document his reaction.
Yeah, I want to do that. I'm
Document
gonna
that shit,
come
man.
find me.
Document it.
Come find me at Mo, dude. I want to get in on some of this Bowie reaction.
Yo, have you? Okay, so Mo Down is like with Mo's the restaurant, right?
No, the band.
the band.
Oh, the band.
Mo.
Okay, I'm
from the
thinking
Utica
Mo's,
area.
like, okay.
They're like
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the jam band world. You've heard of the Grateful Dead, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
have you heard of Fish?
Yeah,
PH
maybe.
Fish.
Okay.
Oh, PH. Yes.
So
yes.
in the jam band world, you have Grateful Dead, you have Fish, and then you have Mo.
Oh shit!
That's how
Wait,
they
Mo,
kinda-
like with Spaz Medicine, the people who made
Yes,
Spaz Medicine. Oh
yes.
shit! Yes.
How do you know
Motherfucker,
Spaz
yeah.
Medicine?
How do the fuck?
Oh motherfucker! Yes, I know. I
Time
know
out.
my motherfucking
Slow
Spaz
down.
Medicine.
Take a deep breath.
Sorry.
Just breathe. How do you know Spaz Medicine?
I have my really cool friend in college. He loves Mo.
Okay.
He told me about Spaz Medicine. I'm like, yo, I need to listen to that shit. So I turned it on, and from that point on, I listened to it every day for my sophomore semester, like second semester sophomore year. I listened to Spaz Medicine all the time.
That's awesome, dude.
All right, so now
as soon
you
as you
want to
said,
talk about
as soon as you said Mo, I'm like, wait, is that the same band that did Spaz Medicine?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, this shit is so
Yeah.
good. I'm so excited.
Dude, so we're gonna have to. I want to collaborate. I want to get like a list of things we can put him through this summer.
Do it.
Like,
Great idea.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
this. I like this.
I'm talking like you ever been like skydiving?
No.
All right, we're gonna do that.
I know there's Syracuse skydiving.
I
Is
did
there
that.
one in Utica?
No, there's one in Syracuse.
I want to do it to you.
Yo.
Before we go jumping out of planes,
Okay.
let's start them off slow,
Have Mo
okay?
down.
I'm ready.
Let's start them off slow. Even before Mo Down, Saranac Thursday's coming up soon, so we'll get you to Saranac Thursday.
This Thursday?
And
No,
then
no.
No, it's coming up. It's every Thursday in the summertime.
Starting like the third week
and
of
then
May.
we got the Levitt Amp concert season that's happening.
Beautiful.
That's going on really soon. And then what else? We have the Boilermakers coming up.
Yo.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to make sure you're out at the Boilermaker.
Yep.
Whoa.
So we have a bunch, and then we have Summerfest coming up in June. 2 nights in June, June 13th and 14th.
Is there like a
So we-
Utica like events
Page?
for this?
Yeah, the Disruption Network.
Oh, okay, yeah. Duh.
True. No, that's true. though.
I should have. I'm like, this is
That-
exciting. I should have thought of that.
That and on top of all the other things we got going on. So we're gonna have you really busy this year.
I
Yeah,
look
dude.
forward to it.
And Zach, great idea, man. Let's Bandage is saying you better bring a tranquilizer gun.
Yo, do it.
I want them all freaking hyper.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, I love like.
But I think we should collaborate with him.
Yeah.
No, we should all collaborate.
Absolutely.
A
Yeah,
try
let's do this.
And we do a whole bunch of reaction videos
Yes,
on
of,
Bowie.
of things that you've never done before. We're gonna call it Bowie's surprise or something. You know, like
okay, we need to. All right, so okay, this is exciting.
no. Here's what we do. Okay, not to interrupt you, but I have a great idea.
Oh no, it's fine.
All right,
it's fine. Yeah.
we're gonna call it like the bag of Bowie or something, and we're just gonna put a bag of fucking ideas in there. We're gonna pull one out, and we got to do it that week,
Oh my god.
Okay.
This will be so.
or at least
fun.
plan for it or something. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're
like,
gonna do
this will be so like, and then we'll put on the D. We'll put it on the D.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my-
We'll spread. This will be a fun. Yeah.
Like we could do IGTV.
Yeah.
We promote it to the Disruption Network YouTube channel. But then after we promote it, we do an Insta Live. We be like, yo, check out this reaction. We
Yeah.
can do a mini reactions
Yeah. Let's do that.
on the Disruption Network Instagram.
I love it.
This would
I
be
love it.
huge.
This is
And
gonna be a
then
good one.
and then we can just be like, here's a snippet of what we did on the YouTube. Check it out at the D.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
would
this
be
is
so
awesome.
cool,
I like
man.
this.
That would be
So you're
awesome.
open to doing all these new experiences.
yeah,
right?
man.
Which,
You know-
these are like everyday things for me. And so it just becomes like everyday
Right.
routine, normal.
Yeah.
But this year is going to be different. It's going to be special
Yeah.
because now we're actually bringing somebody in who's green, who's never really experienced the same.
Yeah.
never-
And we could do that with like
I've
Utica
never-
foods too, man. I'm
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
I'm sure you never had like a half moon or anything. Or
So yeah, let's.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up.
But with Half Moon,
What Utica foods have you eaten so far?
Pizza Boys.
That's
like,
it.
There's Pizza Boys. Like, oh my god, the Boom Boom sauce. I've had Kitties. Yo, Kitties.
Kitty's Boom Boom sauce.
Kitties
Yeah.
Boom Boom sauce. Oh my god, I love Kitties.
So you've never had chicken riggies yet?
At the Devereaux, I think. Were they at the Devereaux? The Devereaux get together.
Did you guys have some there? From
No.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
maybe
if-
we did.
I don't remember.
If
I
they
can't
were,
remember
if they
either.
were at the
Oh,
Devereaux,
that's right.
then-
We had the buffet at the
yeah,
Devereaux.
Yeah.
that's why I said if they were at the Devereaux, then yes. If not, then no.
Oh,
Okay.
dude.
So
So
he's
okay.
had cannolis every
Yeah.
time he comes in here. he's-
Canola, yeah.
Oh, dude, where's my
Yo,
cannolis?
oh shit. cannolis. We gotta have some more, bro. We gotta have that.
And I gotta tell he had something today too that I gave him. My good friend Josh Amodio came in on Monday, gave me a jar of sausage and oil.
Oh yeah,
can we bring it in? Can we bring it in?
You go get some.
I'm gonna bring it in for the guests. Yo,
I'll take a bite.
This is
it's like pickled sausage.
He went nuts eating this today.
Oh man,
he devoured it.
You ever meet him? He goes nuts. It's awesome.
I do love his energy.
Yeah,
I do.
So, are you going to any other?
It looks like this people's.
Yo, can I try one?
Yeah, sure. Help yourself, man.
I don't want to eat on radio. I'm gonna try one.
It's a little spicy. Grab yourself a paper towel though. It's really oily.
This is amazing.
Are you going to any other venues for like festivals
dude,
or
I'm
anything?
booked for 40 concerts this summer.
40?
Well,
really?
I work in the concert industry.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a bunch.
Wow,
In
that's
fact, we
awesome.
start really, really soon. In fact, my first show is May the 4th at the Lost Horizon with Brand New Sin, the Brand New Sin reunion. I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, May the 4th be with you.
That's the first one. And in fact, I bought tickets to that show because they're my boys and stuff, but then they're like, hey, man, can you work this? And I'm like, all right, so I'll work it.
Cool.
But then we got Get the Let Out. It's happening at the Saranac Brewery. That's May 18th.
Sweet.
And then there's like 10 different shows at the brewery this summer.
Yeah.
On top of we do all the production at the State Fair and then SI Hall, Paper Mill Island,
Awesome.
Good Nature Brewery. So we're really, really busy this summer.
Right on, dude. That's awesome.
I have a really good idea, but continue.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I saw Blues Traveler coming. They were supposed to come last year, but didn't they?
They came last year. Yep.
I missed it. I really want to see that guy. He just rails on the harp.
He does.
But other than that, I only have
Great band.
I think I only have one. I'm scheduled to go Kerfuffle. You ever hear of that in DC?
What is it?
Kerfuffle.
No.
It's a freaking weird name, right? It's going to be Greta Van Fleet, Young the Giant. I want to say the Revivalists as well.
Great band.
Amazing band. I'm glad you have heard of them. They're like a New Orleans, Louisiana jam band.
We got them at Paper Mill Island this year.
Shut up.
Yep. They're playing in Paper Mill Island. I want to say
Shut
it's
up.
May 17th or 18th or something like that.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Great
I'm
band.
really excited to see him. Yeah, it's like a one-day, it's like Sunday, May 19th, down in D.C., one-day
cool.
festival kind of thing. And so that's like the only one I had lined up, and you saying that kind of sparked me. But speaking of doing like on-scene stuff, I'm hoping... Stay tuned for the Lost Guidance podcast updates. I'm hoping to be doing an on-scene kind of before and after the festival. Like, yeah, here's our energy. And then like 3 a.m. when I get back to the hotel room, like, I'm freaking totaled, man. So that would be kind of fun.
And
you know?
the power of this right here, man.
Right.
You can do it. You know, whether you don't need a huge elaborate setup, all you do is you got your phone.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring all your gear out anymore.
I know, and it's amazing
know?
how far like quality of cameras and microphones have come on a cell phone. You know?
Seriously. Yeah.
Even something as simple as like I was going to take a selfie with my guest the other day, and I didn't realize I had this thing. It's set up so, excuse me, if you just put your hand up, it'll like track your hand, and then you put your hand down, and you have 3 seconds, and it'll take your picture. So like my palm is recognized. It's like my go-to. It's like my saying, "I'm ready to take the picture now."
Really?
And I didn't know I had it on my phone. I did it. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Neat feature.
Like we're in the future. Yeah, and this is,
That is
a Galaxy
amazing.
S7. This is no top of the line thing. So it's kind of awesome to see.
I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. You guys gotta check it out.
Excellent.
So then I'm like, how? You know, like,
What are you doing the week after May 4th? May the 4th is the Star Wars, right?
Yeah, the Star Wars. Yeah, I'm booked that night, but
I'm thinking I have an idea.
the following week is
following week.
there's a couple things going on. I got to check the
Oh,
calendar.
okay, because I'm thinking we should do a Star Wars podcast.
Yep, let's do it.
oh, that would be fun.
Because I just read about the origins of the Jedi and how they came to be. Like that, we're gonna save that for the Star Wars podcast.
All right, wait,
I mean, you got the the trinkets.
we can't do a Star Wars podcast without Todd, my partner over
Yeah,
here.
does-
at the
oh, Todd. Okay, cool.
Huge
Does he
Star
know
Wars.
about
He
Disney?
just came back from the Star Wars convention in Chicago. He was just there this past
What
weekend.
have you heard his thoughts? And we could put this on the show, but that would be cool to kind of discuss the new trailer that came out and what we all think. Because I think the best part of that trailer is at the end, the Emperor's laugh, like
Yes.
that like got me hooked. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see the episode 9.
Yo.
Real quick on Star Wars, what do you guys think is going to happen on this one? I don't think Luke is really dead.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I think he's dead in the sense of like how Yoda was dead and clearly interacted with Luke and burned the Temple of the Jedi down with lightning.
You think so?
I think so because he just like the way his cloak vanished. I think he went into like the other realm that Jedis can access. If
I
you're
think
in
he's a
tune with the
Force ghost.
He's a Force ghost.
See, I don't think he's dead at all. I think he's so powerful that he wasn't even really there.
He wasn't even on the island.
He wasn't even
Really?
on the
Oh,
island.
son of a bitch.
That's
That's a
my
hell of a
theory.
thought.
Is like he wasn't even on that island when he died.
So he was both.
He's so
transferring
powerful that he could project himself in other places.
Right. So do you think this is the rise of Skywalker, meaning him, or do you think Rey is a Skywalker?
I think Rey's a Skywalker.
I also think Rey's
A lot of
Skywalker.
people say that Rey. I mean, a lot of people say
Is
either
gorgeous.
Rey is a Skywalker or Palpatine. or Kenobi. Like there are three theories.
Kenobi was definitely one I heard.
Or
so there's no. She's not a daughter of Han and Leia.
Kylo Ren says no. The Kylo Ren is Han and Leia.
Right. But you don't think
we don't know about her yet.
Right.
Yeah. Kylo Ren just says, "I know your family," and when they're doing the Force connection in Episode 8, he's like, "I know your family. They were just worthless traitors." He's like, "You know this to be true," and he like gets in her head. But then we find out later in that episode, the evil chancellor at the time, that Stoke or whatever.
Snoke,
he's like, I
Emperor
was playing
Snoke.
those mind tricks. I was connecting you. So it's feasible to say that he made Kylo Ren say that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's possible. I think it's very possible that Rey is a Skywalker.
Yeah.
That's my theory too.
Yeah, she's probably a Skywalker or Palpatine, maybe one of the other two.
I think it's too late to introduce that
Obi-Wan is too
that
late.
Luke had a kid or something. Like I think it's too late for that.
Yeah.
You've already said.
I think so too, right?
He went to the temple and was training. Like you already said that. You can't go back now and say, "Oh yeah, he knocked someone up in the 15th."
Unless they
realm
do
or
like some
something,
flashbacks. Or something.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be outside J.J. Abrams to do some crazy shit that quick. But
when they expect that around Christmas time, right?
Christmas, yeah.
But J.J. Abrams didn't direct Episode 8.
No, I
No,
know.
he
That's
didn't.
why. That's why 7 was so good.
7 was so good.
8 sucked.
7 was too safe. They played it safe because it's so much like A New Hope.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much
7 they played safe. They killed Han Solo in 45 minutes.
No, I mean, yeah, but like other than that, it was like pretty much like New Hope. They played it way too safe.
Yeah,
and then 8, in my opinion, was like, what were they thinking? Like what?
I know when he starts milking that thing on the rocks, I'm like, you lost.
Yeah,
it. And then what's her face does the Superman in reverse.
Yeah.
She just
that was a little tacky.
flies back in.
But my favorite though, out of the whole new franchise of Star Wars, Rogue One.
Oh, me too.
Rogue
Yes.
One. And in fact, I put Rogue One right up there with like Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Empire's like my favorite Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then
but the Rogue One I put right. I
Rogue
thought
One-
it was incredible.
That was incredible.
I agree with you 100%.
And how it ends right at the second of where Episode 4 would otherwise start, I was like, oh my God, they fucking nailed it. Yeah.
Yo, I agree with you, man. Like, yo, this is so good, man. I'm so excited. And like, there was, I haven't seen the Solo movie. Was that good?
Yeah.
Was it good? I haven't seen the Solo
They had
movie.
one interesting. I mean, it was an okay storyline. It was just kind of like unnecessary.
I watched it once. I'll go back and watch it again just to see.
Oh, it was
but,
underwhelming?
yeah.
The one part that was cool
yeah.
was the end. They showed Darth Maul is still alive.
Yeah.
So even though he got cut in half in the episode 1 by Obi-Wan Kenobi after he killed Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
So you know where they left off.
Yeah, he walks in with prosthetic fake legs.
Yeah.
And so he didn't actually sever him in half. He just cut his
Oh,
legs
they
off.
actually show that live action.
They show Darth Maul speaking with fake legs as a hologram, speaking to somebody in the the Han Solo story.
Wow.
You'd have to watch it, but that's the only thing I thought was like really like, oh, that's kind of cool.
My other favorite part of that movie is when he first meets Chewbacca.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
That was.
I gotta see it.
You
man.
gotta see it.
watch
Check
it.
it
It's
out.
on Netflix. You gotta check it out.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Shit. I gotta see it.
Speaking of Netflix, what are you guys binge watching right now?
Oh man,
On Netflix.
Game of Thrones. I just got into.
Yeah.
So
Wait, you just got into it?
2 weeks ago, my Brad Pano, you remember, coworker Brad, he goes, dude, you've never seen Game of Thrones? And I'm like, no, you fucking nerd. Busted his chops calling him a nerd. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I hear it. And he's like, here, I'll give you the whole 1 through 6 on the DVD box set. And he goes, I burned you season 7. Here's 1 through 7. If you want to watch it, go ahead. All right, thanks.
I need to see it.
So I check it out. You've never seen it?
I've seen.
I'm surprised.
Oh my
No, I
God,
mean, I
Bo,
haven't-
you'd love it.
I haven't gotten around to. Well, I actually saw one episode. But
Kind of in your wheelhouse.
It is.
I gotta
yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
It's not on Netflix, right?
No, it's only on HBO. That's what got me. I didn't want to
to.
buy an HBO subscription.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Me
all
too,
right,
I didn't wanna buy
I'll try
it
it out. And I'm like, a few episodes in, I'm like, oh, all right, I get it. It's like, I like medieval and like English history and stuff. I'm like, I get that, but it's a little bit of magic mixed in. I don't like something that's like crazy magic. Like I never really got into Lord of the Rings and all that, or Harry Potter. I never really watched
Harry
like,
Potter.
those.
Me neither.
But I was like, all right, I get it. And then like I finished season 1. I'm like, that was pretty good. And like finished season 2. I'm like, oh wow, this is getting good. And then I'm like, 2 weeks and I do 7 seasons. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, dude. And I'm like bags under my eyes, hair falling out. I'm like, must have more Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
dude. It's so good.
Now I need to binge watch this
Yeah.
shit. Man. Now I need
That's
to
one
watch
of the
it.
ultimate binge watching.
Yeah, I need
You
to
watch
binge
it?
watch
Oh
this
yeah.
shit,
I've been watching it since day one.
What do you think of last Sunday's episode.
Okay, so you're caught up.
I'm caught up, and I
You're
followed it. Dude.
I mean, last Sunday's episode was epic, and then you got one more.
details.
You got one more that's only going to be like an hour long, and then after that,
the fall of Winterfell.
Then there's every episode is feature length.
Yeah.
So they're going to be hour and a half, 2 hour episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to be epic. I mean, you're starting to see things unfold, and I mean, I've got my theories.
I also do, but I was watching because now I'm down the rabbit hole with it. I was watching like
I
all
didn't see that.
all the late night episodes, all the characters, all the actresses and actors are doing, and they're like, everybody's like, "All right, tell us a little bit. Can you tell us anything?" They're like, "No." They're like, "All right, well, just tell us your reaction." And every single one of them all said the same thing. I read it. I was extremely shocked. Nothing was the way I thought it would end, and then I cried. And I was like, "All right, if that's what the people who are doing it said." I'm not even going to be able to come close to a guess.
They said the very last day on set was so emotional. Like everybody on set was crying.
You want to know why? You want to know my prediction?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone dies and the White Walkers win.
You think so?
I think the White Walkers win because never in before of history has a show ended with the worst of the worst winning. And I'm like, that's George R.R. Martin. He would do that.
I can't wait to. Now I need to see this shit.
It's amazing.
I need to see this shit,
Yeah.
bro. I need to see that.
That's your theory, huh?
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I got a lot of theories actually. I think the Night King's a Stark.
Oh yes,
I think he's a Stark.
No. I'll say that, or a Targaryen because only Targaryens can ride dragons, and he rode the dead one.
Well, that's a good theory.
But continue.
That's a good theory. I think he's a Stark. I think everybody is going to die.
You do?
I really do. And I think Jon Snow turns into a White Walker
and just runs the army himself.
And we'll see. But
yeah,
we make all these predictions, and I don't care how many times you make a prediction or even change up your prediction. It's not even going to be close to what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and that's the genius of George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, the only I knew like with this series, and you'll know when you start watching. Because you can get a Hulu subscription and buy HBO add-ons and stuff if you want to take that route. It's a little cheaper.
It's cheaper than okay, all right.
But like going through it, I'm like, I would like see a character and be like, yeah, they're probably gonna die. That's like as far as you can get into reading into that show. But like the twists and turns, and it's like who's related to who and where did they come from, and like one little knife made it from episode 1 till the end of season 8, and it's like, what's the significance of that? So, kind of really interesting shit. Dude.
There's going to be a thing where somebody's going to kill somebody in order to save mankind. Type of thing.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that Jaime Lannister kills Cersei.
I agree. I agree.
You think so too?
And he takes
Cersei's in it, like from Greek mythology.
That's where she got her name.
Okay,
from.
yeah, it's
because all of the names and everything. It's based on like fictional old England.
Oh, okay.
So everything's very, very much like monarchical. Feudalism.
I know that. I know that. I thought I know that. I thought you meant
gets her name. No.
I thought you meant like Cersei from Greek mythology is in it. Okay.
She's a queen,
So you got her name.
It's just the name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great name.
See how smart he is?
She's smoking hot.
Oh, by the
You
way,
think so?
I do.
Yeah.
by the way, did you hear? Speaking of Netflix, did you hear Disney's announcement?
Yeah,
They're stream. No, they're stream. They launched their own streaming service.
Yeah,
Really?
they did.
So then
They're
when
jumping
that
in the game,
so that means they removed all the Disney movies from Netflix.
Wow.
And Marvel and everything and anything related.
That's
to
why
Disney.
Marvel didn't get renewed on anything. Daredevil and all that.
So then when it's going to be released in November, and it's called Disney Plus. And did you hear the big announcement?
so like $6.99 for the month or something like that.
Yeah, and so when that happened, Netflix's stock took a nosedive.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's what parents
Netflix's
use for
stock-
kids and stuff.
So
All
like
the Disney.
Netflix's stock took a nosedive, and then now Disney Plus is coming. They're gonna have everything from Marvel, ESPN, all the Disney cartoons since
Right.
like the 1940s are gonna be in it.
Wow.
Anything Disney, absolutely anything from like the
That's-
whole Disney.
That's smart.
That's
It's a good
huge.
move on
And
their
then
part.
like, and you know how Disney purchased like all these studios, like a lot of stuff, like
Yeah.
everything, like
Studio 10 for Marvel. and
everything,
all
like,
of those.
Disney
yeah.
has so many things, so they can put it on the streaming service, and so it's like now Disney's a direct competitor to Netflix, and
And not only that, like you said, because it's crazy that only like 8 conglomerates own all of television and all of the streaming and everything you
True.
see is like 8 companies.
True.
Disney being a huge proprietor of one of
Yo.
those because they have ESPN. And I used to watch like Hulu Live has this add-on. It's like $40 a month, and you get all live television. Like you get like 50 local stations and ESPN and all this. Well, now what's the point of buying Hulu Live if I'm gonna get Disney Plus and I can watch my ESPN games and stuff?
yeah.
That means Hulu must have. I haven't looked.
yeah,
like,
Hulu
plummeted as well.
Dude, wait, you use Hulu a lot?
That's
Yeah.
my like top one. I like Hulu a lot.
I use my family Netflix a lot too, because my family we have like a family Netflix that we use, so like I can just watch stuff and my family takes care of like the Netflix subscription. It was amazing. I've been using it since 2015, but I really like the fact that there's so much like diversification, like so many more options. Continue. You were about to say?
I would say this would be the time to buy Netflix if you're looking to invest, since the stock is plummeting. You buy low. Buy low, because they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to go anywhere. But it's going to bring their price for all-time lows.
They're going to come up with the next big thing. And
exactly.
You know what I think the next big thing is? You watch a lot of Netflix recently.
Oh yeah.
You see the You versus Wild.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
But You versus Wild. Bear Grylls now has an interactive Wild show where you choose the path that he takes to. So like episode 1, I watch. I only watch episode 1. And it's like
I got to check this out.
Boy, yeah. He's not English. He's like, here we are in the jungle. He's like, he's like in a seaplane about to crash into the jungle or swoop down on a river. He's like, we can only take one item, the grappling hook or the slingshot. What do you think? And I picked the slingshot. And he's like, all right, we have to track into the jungle and find our way to this temple and find a doctor who's been stuck there. What do you think we should do? And it's like, bushwhack or follow the river. And it's like, all right, I followed the river. And he's like, oh, there's a crocodile. Good thing we have the slingshot. Do we shoot the crocodile and scare it away, or do we walk around it? Shoot the crocodile. And it's like he's doing all these things. He's like, here's a bunch of termites. Here's a grub. Do I eat the grub or the termites? And he eats this grub and he just chews it. And obviously he had to do all of this stuff twice to get this footage. But it's like kind of cool that like, and then you can start the episode again and do it all a different way.
That's amazing.
It's very cool.
That's going to be the next trend.
And they had very similar. Black Mirror did with Bandersnatch, and there's a million ways that you could end the story, and it's like that's the next thing, interactive television.
The next thing I'm gonna do is watch Game of Thrones now. That's gonna be like
you'll get addicted.
I'm gonna be addicted.
It's so bad.
You will. You'll get addicted.
Yo, this shit is good. I'm excited.
That's one of the shows that I totally got addicted to. I watched it right off the beginning, and then it just continue. I've seen every episode like 6-7 times.
I'm excited that I got into it now, and that I don't know how the last episode of season 8, the last episode ends. I'm glad I don't know that. If I were to be on Facebook and already knew how it ended coming into the series, I'd be a little sour.
Yeah.
But now I get that camaraderie, like we're all gonna watch it together, guys. So
the Facebook hosting party, we can do that.
Oh, we should do that. We should do like a the show, and then 15 minutes after, like, what the fuck just happened, dude? That would be fun.
That's exactly what happens, too.
When you host a party, just message me on Facebook so that I know. Because sometimes I'm not on Facebook that often.
I don't blame you.
Only for specific things.
We should all just, like, stream in from our own podcast and have a reaction conversation.
Oh,
shoot. Of season 8.
All right, let's stop giving out ideas on the air.
I know, guys.
No more.
Trademark Bonanza Corp 2019.
I was about to. We can do the same thing with Instagram.
All right,
we'll
no more.
All right, yeah, we're giving too many good ideas.
No more ideas. I'm telling you, man. Too many people steal our shit, and it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. No ideas.
I tell you, there's a local media station out there right now delivering pizzas in brand new cars. I wonder where they got that idea.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. But this has been a great conversation, man. You need to come back, bro.
Yeah.
You need to come back. We need to communicate more and co-op and really work together and stuff. And we got a lot of good stuff happening, and it's good for me to have young minds around.
Oh, totally.
Because I'm still that old man. Hey, kid, get off my lawn right now. You know.
Well, listen. No, I wanted to say thank you, and something that this is what I love. We kind of went down the rabbit hole with all these awesome conversations, and we are kind of like-minded individuals who are able to converse like that, which I love.
Of course.
But I wanted to say thank you, and not only to you guys, both of you are giving me, it was equally both of you that kind of set me forth on doing my own podcast. You know, the fact that I was invited onto the D-line and that I met you and conversed with you at the Devereaux and you gave me such positivity, and Bowie really just kicking my ass and saying, dude, do what you love. It means the world to me. And anybody out there who's kind of questioning, like, oh man, I like talking to people. I think I have a knack for electronics, even if you don't, even if you just want to have conversations about a particular aspect, like you said, if you want to find your niche, just do it, man. I don't do it. I don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm on my way to becoming Joe Rogan, or I'm about to be millionaire famous. I don't have any ambition or any false sense that I'm going to become a millionaire off of this. I don't expect to become famous, but what I do expect is one person. I hope that if one person hears one 5-minute segment of one of my episodes and his day is changed for the better, or his outlook of something is more positive, then I've already succeeded.
Of course.
Now, just to see I'm getting 200-300 likes in some of my videos, and I'm seeing such positive feedback from the community, from people like you guys who are sharing my content, it means the world to me. And I got to say thank you time over and time again, because it's people like great listeners, great viewers, appreciators of the art, of the good local content. That's what makes things like this so big and so successful. And as long as I can, I will support both of you guys till I die.
Same here,
I love both of your messages. You're both great guys, and so like I said, I appreciate the reciprocal nature to it. And thank you to everybody who watches and chimes in and enjoys Lost Guidance podcast content. And again, just thank you guys.
And you, the public, too, can help us by getting our word out there by sharing, commenting, liking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's simple and easy just to click a button, and it would help us out. Just one click of the share button helps us out immensely.
The share, do a subscribe, do a like on the page. The one thing I'm always hesitant about is I want people to know that there's content readily available and stay privy to it. I don't want to shove it down their throats,
Right.
So I hope I'm doing a good job of kind of walking that line. But at the same time, it's things like that, doing that sharing and kind of networking that's led me to, in May, hopefully the second week of May, one of my guests that I had on introduced me to another guest. And he's a doc. I don't want to get his name out in case he doesn't come on right in May, but he's a pharmacist, a doctor, who has been on Everest twice, climbed Kilimanjaro, and had dinner with the Dalai Lama last year.
Whoa.
A very interesting person, a great episode. I really hope everyone checks it out. It's going to be fantastic. But I hope everybody checks out all the content, because every guest that I have on, I tell everyone, you don't even need me on the show. They're so great. Their stories are so powerful. Whether it's hearing Claude Hutchings Jr., one of the most winning people to ever race at Utica Rome, he came on and told me how precise you are with a dirt track stock car, and how if you turn a nut a quarter inch, it shifts 5 pounds either side of your car, and learning how they wear in tires and stuff. It's very, very interesting stuff. Or you have Laura, a local business owner. You have Jimmy Wilson, a scientist enthusiast. Matt Lewis, overcoming all the odds after several motocross injuries and still helping advocate for the sport. John Silbreth, local, used to play semi-pro football. Greg Jones used to teach or led West Canada Valley to their first high school championship visit ever.
You actually invited Silbreth to your house?
Dude, I did. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He didn't even bring the beer. I brought the beer. No, I'm just kidding, John. I love you, man. But
did you sterilize your house after you left?
No, it's like I said, I have great guests, and I hope everyone, I hope that's just a little sliver into what I've been doing, and everybody kind of is like interested and like, oh, I'll go check that out, because really, I don't even need to be there. They're great stories, a lot to be taken from them. So everyone, please, Lost Guidance Podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram, soon to be on iTunes. Check it out.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You're doing a great job, man.
Thank you
keep
so
it up and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
As long as it feeds your soul, right?
Yeah, dude.
Continue to do it.
It makes me so happy. And just to have that hour or two on every Sunday where I'm like, I'm going to sit down with someone who I haven't had this deep of a conversation with, and I'm going to just shoot the breeze and find out what they're all about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, you really get to the nitty gritty. And like I said, these headphones, man, they suck you into a world. It's It's like having the TV draw you in almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They do. They do. And guys, I want to say thank you to Z for making this possible, because if it wasn't for Z, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And Z is the man, and like he has so much passion. Like this guy does it all. He promotes so many events.
Yeah.
He works his ass off just doing all this for us, and I just want to say thank you, because we appreciate you very much, Z. And
you're a huge benefit to the community, whether people realize it or not.
And I know you mentioned we're
gonna get him to blush over here.
Oh, stop it! And I know you mentioned that. I know you mentioned that you appreciate younger minds, but we appreciate your experience and we appreciate your wisdom. Like, you're so wise, and like you mean the world to us, and we appreciate you.
All right.
You're such a wise person, and I really do mean it. I mean it. Thank you so much, man.
I appreciate both of you, and Bowie, the stuff that we got going on. I'm looking forward to the future, and
gonna
all
be
the
amazing.
stuff that we're about to do.
Look forward to it, man.
So we've got some cool things in the works for sure.
Look forward to it. I appreciate it.
Likewise, I hope to.
See, it's podcasts like this is the reason why I do it. We've touched on so many different
Oh,
subjects.
yeah.
I mean, well, the ADD definitely kicked in.
Shit, yeah.
Like it's kicking in.
Oh
right now.
shit! And we're gonna do some more over the summer.
But if you think
Stay
about it-
tuned, guys.
I mean, we talked about podcasting. We talked about aliens. We talked about
Wars.
IA,
23andMe,
AI,
yeah.
2030. In the future, and we talked about
Netflix.
a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And it's good, and it's the reason why we do this type of stuff to touch on great subjects and
Yeah.
get it off our chest. That's our landlord.
Oh, nice. Hey, buddy, come on
He
in.
comes in and gets the mail and stuff. Like, who's this weird guy?
Absolutely.
But no, dude, I look forward to collaborating more with both of you as well. I know, Bowie, I'm going to be having you on in the near future.
It's gonna be cool.
I'd love to have you on.
I'd
Z,
love
just-
to,
Yeah,
for sure,
absolutely.
man. Anytime,
So we'll
let me
set some
know.
stuff up. We'll do
Sundays are good for me too.
bag of Bowie's tricks, where we put, we get
It's gonna
Bowie
be
going
good.
on some reactions.
And the way the like this summer is gonna be full of so many memories, so many amazing memories.
Yeah,
You have no idea, kid.
Yeah, lock and
No,
load, buddy.
I have no idea, but that's what we want because,
exactly.
we,
We want you to that
'cause
reaction.
surprises are amazing. Surprises are amazing, and it's just and friendships last a lifetime. It's these kinds of friendships that last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, we're gonna look back on this. We're gonna be like, we had the best time of our lives.
Indeed,
Summer of
brother.
2019.
Totally. And we have it on
Yeah.
tape, too.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it's all documented.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, man. I look forward to
Well,
it.
guys, thank you so much for coming
so
in.
much.
Yeah,
This has
no,
been a lot
thank
of fun.
you a million.
Before we get out of here, I do got to mention that we do have our Disrupting Hunger event happening on Sunday, April 28th. I'd love for you guys to come out.
I will be there.
We are looking for donations, so if you are interested in making a donation, we have drop-off boxes located at all First Source Federal Credit Union branches. So if you go in, we're looking for commercial. What we're looking for is non-perishable food items. We're looking for clothes, toiletries, hygiene products, furniture, blankets, pillows, pretty much any kind of basic home necessity. And you could drop them off at any of the First Source Federal Credit Union branches, or you can visit disruptionnetwork.net for more locations because we do have a couple more. So, or come to the event and you can make a donation there, or we will take monetary donation day of event as well. That's happening Sunday, April 28th at the Veterans Outreach Center, which is the old YMCA in Utica at 726 Washington Street. Come on down. We'll be there from noon to 4. We're going to have music. There's going to be food. Music provided by Mutt Farm, my good friends Mutt Farm. Great band, man. Doing like the southern rock type of thing. They're cool little band. And also the Dark Matter Project, which is, I think it's the very first all-female, all-women band in Utica ever.
Oh, wow.
I think so.
Dark Matter Project?
Yeah, they're great.
Well, I need to keep my tabs on.
Kudos
They were
to
here.
them.
They were here a couple weeks ago. They're a great band.
Congratulations.
That's sweet.
So they're going to be playing as well, and then it's all going down Sunday, April 28th. Thank you so much to First Source Federal Credit Union for helping us disrupt hunger. Also, I got to thank my man Eddie over at EJA Moving Company because he's the one that gave us the drop-off boxes.
Oh, nice.
So because of Eddie is helping us disrupt hunger as well. So
That's awesome.
when you're ready to move and relocate, give Eddie a call at 315-335-0516. He packs up all your stuff for you. He moves all your stuff. Bowie, when you want to take off, you want to move to Nigeria?
No, I don't want to Nigeria. No.
All right. Well, Eddie would move you there.
Yeah.
Just in case. All right, that's the point I'm getting to.
I got you.
I struck a nerve.
I don't want to move to Nigeria.
Like, no fucking way, dude. No way.
I'm so sorry for that reaction, but I've heard stories about
that's so
Nigeria.
great.
No,
All right, well, I take that back then. So
Yeah.
if you're looking to move, man, have my man Eddie move
I
you.
will.
EJAmoving.com. He freaked out.
He's like literally this. I've never seen him change from 0 to 100 so quick. He's like, oh.
I'm so sorry, people. I don't want to move to Nigeria.
I was just getting hypothetical.
Yeah,
that's
I
all.
got you.
Also, big love to my friends over at Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Stop into their showroom, 5865 Tabor Road in Rome. See why all their customers love their Nye V-Dub. Mention this podcast, mention the D, mention Disruption Network, EC Radio, mention Bowie.
Yeah.
If you mention Bowie and you saw him on Disruption Network,
Yes.
at Nye Volkswagen in Rome, they're going to give you $250 off any vehicle purchase. You can check out all their inventory at nyvdubofrome.com. And thank you to Saranac, and also got to thank our friends over at Utica Coffee. Tomorrow, I got a great guest tomorrow, too. Dan Williams from the Barden Mudfest is coming in to talk about the Barden Mudfest. It's a great event that goes on every year, and it's happening next week at MKJ Farms in Deansboro. This is going on, I think, 7th year. It's the Dirty Boilermaker, the Dirty Ninja Warrior.
Is that where everybody can just bring their ATV and romp in the mud?
No. That's the Snert Run, that's this weekend too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's this weekend, the Snert Run. No, with the Barden Mudfest, it's like a Tough Mudder. You know, it's a very physical. You got to climb obstacles, and you know,
it's a muddy
you're muddy obstacle. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Dirty Ninja Warrior.
Wow.
Nice.
We got to get you on it.
Yeah, Bowie, that's going to be the first one out of the bag.
Sure, you've never taken acid.
I was. You should. I'll tell you about this weekend after in a bit. I'll tell you about last weekend in a bit. We'll talk. I told him earlier, but I'll tell you about this weekend.
All right, we'll talk about this weekend.
But anyways, tomorrow, Dan Williams from the Barton Mudfest will be in. In fact, he was my very, very first guest ever on EC Radio.
Well, hey, cheers to that. How many episodes have you done now? Do you know?
Well, see, here's the thing with this podcast, because there's two sections of the network that we had. You know, the first year was a .com, and then we trimmed the fat, if you will, and moved on and turned it into a .net. And so under the .net blanket, I'm right around 200, but under the .com, it's somewhere in the 100 range. So I got to check.
Yeah.
I have to check.
Several hundred.
But since the .net, it's just under 200 episodes. So
Nice.
we won't even count the .com because it doesn't even count.
Yeah.
It was just getting our feet wet. And
Well, I'm honored to be one of those many hundreds.
for sure, brother, for sure. And we'll have you come back, and we got to collaborate some more on a couple.
Oh,
of
one
good
more
things.
thing before we go.
For sure.
Jim Sin said he wanted me to send you his regards.
Is it very,
Tell him I said hello.
very talented guy right there.
Yeah.
He can play. He's been playing around for years.
A beautiful artist and great musician.
That's right. He's an artist too.
Have him on
Yeah,
the podcast.
he's actually working on. I don't want to let any cats out of the bag, but he's working on creating a platform to be selling his watercolors and stuff, which I'm all for. I'm trying to help him with it. So, yeah. So he wanted to say hello to you. So I figured I'd pass that along in case he's listening tonight.
Send him my greetings as well too.
Absolutely.
He's a good man. I've known him for many, many years.
Have you thought of having him on the podcast?
Well, now I did.
Yes, we
now
did.
I am.
We should have him on soon.
I've been trying to coax him into coming on the
Do it.
LVP, and
Do it.
I'm getting him there.
You
We'll leave it there. I'm getting him there.
Before we get out of here, you got a wish list of guests that you want to come on? You got
A wish list?
Yeah. Do you have like a couple, 5, 6 guests that you can think of that you would
That I would like to interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the spot, but like people I would find interesting in the area would be like, well, I'm slowly getting more people from like local bands and stuff. I have Jeremy Seaton, who's a guitarist for Broken Rule, coming in this Sunday. I have a couple other artists lined up. So like to be able to sit down with somebody from like Mo would be astounding. Somebody who maybe coordinates the events at Saranac, just kind of see the subsurface. I'm very interested in getting the stories, and I think other people are interested in hearing the stories of how all these events and all these bands, all these talents come to be. So, so like I said, somebody who's helping coordinate Saranac Thursdays or something, somebody who, local restaurant business owners again. I was trying to kind of discuss that with Laura, get me in the door there. So why, do you have anybody in particular you think?
No,
might
I
be
just
good?
wondering if you had a wish list.
Well, Anthony Z. Donaldson, if I can get him, maybe.
You got him, brother. If anybody's interested in being a guest on your show, how do they get in touch with you?
You can email me directly. That's what I tell everybody. It's right in my opener for the show, lostguidancepodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on any media platform. Like I said, stay tuned for those iTunes uploads here soon, probably this weekend. And I am willing to sit down with anybody who has an interesting story. I'm fortunate enough to have bookings out to like June almost, which is fantastic.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, champagne problems, right? But I'm all for meeting up with someone during the week. It's an open invite, and like I said, I just love sharing stories and positive content. And in a world where it's just saturated with slander and dark shit and like
hate
and contempt for one another, I just want to spread the positive and the love, baby.
I love it.
Yes,
man.
that's what we need.
And the one thing too, I want to get in everybody's heads too. If you're a business owner, this is great promotion for your business.
It's free promotion.
It's free promotion for your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could get it out in front of thousands of people that listen or reach or any of that stuff. You know, so take advantage of what's going on. This whole new media, digital marketing. It's the way to go. I mean, you should forget about terrestrial radio and the news channels and all that because they're kind of a dying format.
Nobody's going to watch you at 6 a.m. on Channel 2. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Or listening to AM radio at 1 a.m. too,
Yeah.
So.
And one guest I would like to have is, there's just in particular, if anybody has done this, get a hold of me. There was this guy, his father used to teach at Sequoia High School, Mr. Gunther. I'm sure you might have even remembered him. No? Okay. His son bicycled like around the entire United States for like years. Just that's the only way he got around. Started in New York, circumvented the whole United States on a bicycle.
Wow.
Okay,
Whoa.
if somebody that athleticism and those feats of athleticism are like some of the most astounding things I've ever. You hear of like Marines who run like 50 miles to help somebody or something. So anybody who has like a really, just kind of like stamina draining experience or something that you just really push yourself to the limit, that's what I would really love to hear next. So if anybody has anything like that or knows somebody like that, get a hold of me, because that shit's really
You
interesting.
should talk to Dan Williams, my guest tomorrow. As a matter of fact, the day he graduated high school, he got on his bike and made it all the way to Seattle.
Really? On his Harley?
No, on his
bicycle?
10-speed.
Dude, I'm going to talk to him.
It's a crazy story.
Dan, we got to talk, buddy. That's amazing.
It's amazing. And he's an amazing human
I'll be
being.
sure to tune into that one.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to chime in tomorrow and remind you, but let
I
him
will.
know that Lost Guidance would love to sit down.
Please do. Yeah, remind me tomorrow. For sure.
Absolutely.
He would easily come on your show.
Excellent. That's
He's
awesome.
got a great
Yeah.
story. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah,
man.
thank you for having us.
I want to remind everybody they can listen to this podcast and previous podcasts of EC Radio and all the content we have here on the D at DisruptionNetwork.net. You could follow us on Instagram and Twitch and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Google Play and Stitcher and Spotify. We're pretty much anywhere you hear podcasts, you can find the D. We will see you tomorrow. Gentlemen, have a good evening.
You as well.
You too.
Go on, man.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Later.
You know what the hell you're listening to? It's EC Radio.
Never you mind what I'm making. You should spend some time taking a personal inventory of what you're doing for the betterment of society.
EC Radio.
Only on the D.
Disruption Network and First Source Federal Credit Union have teamed up to help support the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center Sunday, April 28th from noon till 4 p.m. Located at the Veterans Outreach Center, 726 Washington Street in Utica. There will be food, live entertainment, raffles, live podcasting from the D, and an appearance by Audie from the Utica Comets. We are looking for donations of clothes, non-perishable food items, furniture, toiletries, hygiene products, or a minimal cash donation of $5 at the door day of event. All ages are welcome. For more information on donation, drop-off locations, and entertainment lineup, please check out DisruptionNetwork.net. Disrupting Hunger, Sunday, April 28th, brought to you by First Source Federal Credit Union.
Tax season is here, and First Source wants to help you be prepared. Our friends at Furley, Moran, Freer, and ESA have given us some great tax tips to share. Read the blog at fsource.org for helpful answers to your tax questions and feel better prepared before you file. First Source members can also receive a discount on TurboTax software. Be ready for tax season with help from your friends. File smarter, live smarter with First Source. Membership requirements apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Baseline is back with all new episodes every Sunday night at 8 p.m. right here on Disruption Network. The complete rundown of news and notes around Major League Baseball. Get caught up with fantasy rankings, predictions, league leaders, standings, and more. Join JP and SPG as they bring you original segments like 3 Up, 3 Down, the Haps on the Haps, Tip of the Cap, and the Field Report.
Don't find yourself out of the baseline.
Join the Baseline every Sunday night, all season long, only on the D.
Hey, it's Cassidy, and you're listening to Disruption Network.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at 9vwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish, and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
The Disruption Network is making moves. For upcoming events, news, interviews, and new daily programming, keep in the loop with us at DisruptionNetwork.net. Like, follow, and subscribe to all our social media. And check out all our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Get up on the D, DisruptionNetwork.net.